Okay, brother Gomer, you can start now.
Sharing screen. Brother Farhan.
Farhan, you need to make him co-host.
The screen. You disabled the screen sharing.
I enabled it.
Okay.
Right now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أمسينا وأمسى الملك لله والحمد لله لا شريك له لا إله إلا هو وإليه المصير. أمسينا على فطرة الإسلام وعلى كلمة الإخلاص وعلى دين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى ملة أبينا إبراهيم حنيفا وما كان من المشركين. اللهم إني أمسيت منك في نعمة وعافية وستر فأتم علي نعمتك وعافيتك وسترك في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما أمسى بي من نعمة أو بأحد من خلقك فمنك وحدك لا شريك لك فلك الحمد ولك الشكر يا رب. لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من أن نشرك بك شيئا نعلمه ونستغفرك لما لا نعلمه. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من أن نشرك بك شيئا نعلمه ونستغفرك لما لا نعلمه. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من أن نشرك بك شيئا نعلمه ونستغفرك لما لا نعلمه. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن، وأعوذ بك من العجز والكسل، وأعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل، وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن، وأعوذ بك من العجز والكسل، وأعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل، وأعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال. اللهم عافني في بدني، اللهم عافني في سمعي، اللهم عافني في بصري، اللهم عافني في بدني، اللهم عافني في سمعي، اللهم عافني في بصري، اللهم عافني في بدني، اللهم عافني في سمعي، اللهم عافني في بصري. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الكفر والفقر. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من عذاب القبر. لا إله إلا أنت. اللهم أنت ربي، لا إله إلا أنت. خلقتني وأنا عبدك، وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت. أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت. أبوء لك بنعمتك علي، وأبوء بذنبي، فاغفر لي، فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. اللهم أنت ربي، لا إله إلا أنت. خلقتني وأنا عبدك، وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت. أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت. أبوء لك بنعمتك علي، وأبوء بذنبي، فاغفر لي، فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. أستغفر الله، أستغفر الله، أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو، لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم، وأتوب إليه. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك، أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد، سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي، وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما عدد ما أحاط به علمك، وخط به قلمك، وأحصاه كتابك. وارض اللهم عن ساداتنا أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي، وعن الصحابة أجمعين، وعن التابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers, sisters, and children, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all to another evening from Upper Westchester Muslim Society in Pleasantville, New York. Tonight we have with us Brother Badr. Inshallah, we're going to recite from Surah Al-Isra, chapter number 17, verse number 97. And we are so fortunate to have with us our dear sister, Dr. Hassan, and the topic, Understanding Quran Through Science. Brother Badr.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولقد آتينا موسى 9 آيات بينات فاسأل بني إسرائيل إذ جاءهم فقال له فرعون إني لأظنك يا موسى مسحورا قال لقد علمت ما أنزل هؤلاء إلا رب السماوات والأرض بصائر وإني لأظنك يا فرعون مثبورا فأراد أن يستفزهم من الأرض فأغرقناه ومن معه جميعا وقلنا من بعده لبني إسرائيل اسكنوا الأرض فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة جئنا بكم لفيفا وبالحق أنزلناه وبالحق نزل وما أرسلناك إلا مبشرا ونذيرا وقرآنا فرقناه لتقرأه على الناس على مكث ونزلناه تنزيلا قل آمنوا به أو لا تؤمنوا إن الذين أوتوا العلم من قبله إذا يتلى عليهم يخرون للأذقان سجدا ويقولون سبحان ربنا إن كان وعد ربنا لمفعولا ويخرون للأذقان يبكون ويزيدهم خشوعا قل ادعوا الله أو ادعوا الرحمن أيما تدعوا فله الأسماء الحسنى ولا تجهر بصلاتك ولا تخافت بها وابتغ بين ذلك سبيلا وقل الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم. Okay. Dr. Hassan.
Yeah. Just trying to, okay. Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما. So inshallah I will be speaking a little bit about science and a little bit about Quran, as well as my own journey into Quran. I'm going to have a little recitation of a verse from Surah Al-Qamar, which is Surah 54. And if you can just hear it for a few moments, and then I will talk about this.
وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ.
And we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then, is there any that will receive admonition? As a youngster growing up, I thought Quran was a very difficult book. I tried many times, but it seemed it always eluded me. And it was a long time later in my adult life then I was able to start understanding it, and that too in a very early stages. Once I got to a certain point and I realized that really this verse is correct. It is not that difficult if we make an effort. And if anything comes out of my talk today, it would be for those who think that Quran is very difficult, that they try to look at it from another angle and they'll find that it is easier than we think it is. So what my point today is, inshallah, to talk about Quran in 4 aspects from the science and look at it. So the first point which I'll be talking about will be fingerprints. Then I will talk about ants, bees, and the skin in the sense of burns. So let's look at fingerprints. We know that fingerprints is one way of identifying. Yes, we do have now other methods like DNAs, but that is way too expensive. It is about 100 to 400 times more expensive than doing a finger test. It was if you look at Surah Al-Qiyamah and look at this verse 3 to 4, this is what it just says over here. Yeah, over here is a question. Yahsabu linsanu an lan najma al-izama. This was as these kafir used to say to the Prophet when they were told that we are going to bring you back into your state. And the Quran answered, they would question that. You mean they would take a bone, an old bone, put it in their hand, crush it, put it in the air as if it's flying and says, is this from where we are going to come back? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered it in this form, Bala, means yeah, we are able to put together in perfect order the very tips of your fingers. So here is this fingertip and here is the fingerprint. Now, this was only discovered by a person, a British Francis Galton, and he was an anthropologist. And in 1880, he started studying this fingerprints. And that is when he realized that the fingerprints for every human being is a unique one. Even the identical twins do not have the same fingerprints. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it in the Quran that yes, it will be his fingertips from where he will be re-identified, this to me was like a revelation to myself. I said, wow, that is really incredible. Now I'm going to look at something very tiny. We look at it, we don't even pay attention to it. We walk over it, we kill it, and these are little ants which are around. Why did it interest me? Well, I had just started to understand a little bit of grammar, and I was reading this verse, and as I reached this point, hatta iza ataw ala wadi namle qalat namlatun ayyuha. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wait a second, what is this ta and ha mean? because I had just learned that in the 82% of the Quran is in the form of masculine tone, and only 20% or less is in feminine tone. So I'm saying to myself, if that is the case, why is Namal having the ending with the ta? Because when I was reading these English translations, it said valley of the ants. So at length, when they came to a valley of ants, one of the ants said, there was nothing saying over here to me that there is what we call a female. So I had to go and look at the dictionary. Actually, there's a whole encyclopedia, and I don't know if you will be able to see it. It's a very thick book, and it is only about ants. And that is when I found out through the scientific way that yes, all the females, all the ants which we see are female. The males are there only for a few days. They have only one job. And after that, they die. And the rest of all what we see are ants. And I said, my goodness, this is 1400 years ago. We were told that all the ants we see are feminine. And so here we look at these ants. As you see, the male will have wings. The females do not have wings. This is what we see. And that is what they will just fertilize the eggs. The other aspect about this, which is a little busy slide as we call it, but it is an interesting one. Quran also says that there are communities which live and they live like you. So let's look at the ant. Ants bury their dead in a manner similar to the humans. They have a sophisticated system of division of labor where they have managers, supervisors, foremen, workers. Once in a while, they meet among themselves to have a chat. They have an advanced method of communication among themselves. They hold regular markets wherein they exchange goods. They store grains for long periods in winter, and if the grain begins to bud, they cut the roots as if they understand that this will get rotten, so they will cut the root out. So if the grains are stored and they get wet due to rains, they take these grains out into the sunlight to dry them, and once they are dry, they take them back in, as they know that the humidity will cause development of root systems, and that will cause the grain. They also construct homes, which are called ant hills, which are a perfect security system, storage place, nursery, temperature, and humidity control. So let me show you this ant hill. And it is really a hill, like if you have been to Africa, this where you see here's the size, you can decide at how big it is. On top, they have ventilating system. Below that is a nursery. So the little ones are getting fresh air, the best air they can get. Below also is another ventilating chamber. Then is the food storehouse and the servant quarters. And the most lower, to be furthermost away from danger, is the royal chamber. Then there are drains through which the water will flow down. The other interesting part is that each community has a guard, and that guard sits in a very small little chamber, and it has such a big mouth that it can only go over into that chamber. And when any foreign ant comes, it asks for a code. If the code is not given, then they will attack, and he will send a message, and the other ants will come and they will kill the foreigners. So you see, nobody likes foreigners. Everybody wants to stay within their own communities. So that was very interesting. And here is the size of this ant, as you can see how large area it is. The other verse I chose was about the bees. Now, bees are also feminine. All the bees we see outside who are collecting the honey, they're all female. The male are only into this area where they will fertilize the eggs and then they will die. So all the rest of the workers are female. And even in the Quran, it says to it, then to eat all the produce and with the skill, the spacious paths of his Lord, and there is from within their bodies a drink of varying colors, wherein healing is for men. Now, being a plastic surgeon, I will tell you that there was a case which happened in India, this is some time back, where a woman had got a MRSA infection and a huge abscess, which the doctors were trying, and it was not getting cured because that was all the bacteria which were in this, which was MRSA, methicillin resistant Staph aureus, was resistant to all antibiotics. So one of these, while they are making the rounds, one of the doctors who was under training told the surgeon, why don't you try honey? So he says, what do you mean by trying honey? He says, you know, in our holy book, it is said that it is very good for healing. So he says, okay, so they tried it and the MRSA got cleared up. And so if I don't know how many of you know about it, but Australia and New Zealand are always in competition with making honey. And this is a multi-million-dollar industry. And it is being used tremendously, and especially if you get a burn at home, like hot water and all, and if you have honey, you put it on the skin, it will sting a little bit for a while, but hardly it leaves any scar. It is that good. Now, I am going to finish with this one, which is painful, but that is what in the Quran it is. If you look at it, it says, those who reject our signs, we shall soon cast them into the fire as often as their skins are roasted through. We shall change them for fresh skins that they may taste the chastisement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So while I was studying plastic surgery, before that I had read this verse and it never made sense. Okay, the skin will be burnt and another, but I would say, why would God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, keep on changing the skin to fresh skin? And then studying plastic surgery and the skin in depth, I came to know that the nerve endings are only in the superficial part of the skin, which is the epidermis part of it, where are all the nerves. So once the burn takes place, if this all gets destroyed, this is called the 3rd degree burn, then there is no more pain left. So Allah, this is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written it, that the skin will be changed again and again so that they will continue to have this pain while they are in hell. And here is this diagram as I show you. These are where the pain receptors they are located. And in this area, which is the 3rd degree burn, there is no more pain left. So this skin is the center of sensitivity. And what had happened that this Professor Tagadot Tejai, he was the chairman of the Department of Anatomy at Chiang Mai University in Thailand. He was an authority on pain receptors. Initially, he could not believe that the Quran had mentioned this scientific fact 1400 years ago. Once he verified the translation of this particular Quranic verse, Professor Tejas was so impressed by the scientific accuracy of Quranic verse that at the 8th Saudi Medical Conference held in Riyadh on the scientific science of Quran and Sunnah, he proclaimed, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Jazakallah.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, our dear sister, for this informative. Okay, this we got for inshallah, alhamdulillah, for this session. Okay, we got a lot of information. Subhanallah. All what we have, we can say, we said, Subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help, okay, whoever inflicted by this virus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove this waba and this bala and bless our community and bless us all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.